Welcome back to Go For Side Effects. I'm your host, Kevin Simon. Today, we got a caller, Rusty. I'm getting him on the line for you.
Hello.
Hey, Rusty, this is Kevin. How are you doing?
Hey, Kevin, I'm doing good. Can you hear me good with the speaker on? I got you on speaker on my iPhone.
Yes, sir. I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
Well, welcome to the program. And I would like for you to start off just by telling your story about when you went in and places you were around and
Okay.
where you served. Where was your home base?
So I went in 1990, San Diego. Then I went to Camp Pendleton, and I was going to be an 0341 mortarman, but I tried out for recon and made it, and ended up in First Recon Delta Company at Camp Pendleton. And about a year after I'd been in, we got orders to go to Saudi Arabia. We flew there, and we went into Saudi Arabia, then into Kuwait. And so while we were there, we the oil fields were on fire. You know, we got there and we stayed at the berm, they called it, most of the time on the border of Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. And one evening we had one incident, but nobody got hurt. There was some artillery, but they missed. That was the most combat I saw with the enemy. Now, we did have a friendly fire incident where one guy got killed and 3 vehicles were destroyed. And my platoon sergeant got a silver star because he got a ceasefire from our own guys shooting at us. So that wasn't any fun.
Right. That doesn't sound like fun at all.
No, it wasn't. So, and we knew it was our guys, so we just had to sit there and take it until they stopped. That was the most combat I saw. Of course, the Marines shooting at us did a lot more damage than the other guys. Let's see. So then we fast forward. We go into Kuwait City. We go towards Kuwait City. This was when the ground assault started, because there were many. Before it started, there were many nights of watching the air shows, the bombing from air to ground and ground to air. The nightly bombings and fireworks show, I called it. So we saw that a lot on the berm. But we went in, and then we had the incident with the friendly fire. And then we got on the way to, I think it was called Al Jabbar Airfield. We were told to go around the rear and make sure there weren't any hard chargers left, because people were surrendering like crazy. And we'd seen some oil fires. But then we get gassed, supposedly. So there was a corporal, I'll never forget. He jumped out of the vehicle and he started doing the sign for gas, 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 gas. So we got in full mob gear and drove around. And after a while, for a few hours, they gave the all clear. That might have been a few hours, it was a while. So we took our gas mask off and our suits. And I remember it getting so black that the nights where you couldn't see your hand in front of your face because of the oil fires and how black it was. And I remember that. And I also remember they kept calling. They'd wake you up and you'd hear gas, gas, gas. So you put your gas mask back on and go back to sleep. So there were times I'd literally put my gas mask on and just go back to sleep. But I never felt or experienced any at that time. The gas didn't seem to affect or get me, like gas can do if it's, but supposedly it was in the area. But we all did okay during that time. I guess it wasn't, there was traces of it, I guess. I'm not sure.
Right.
But I didn't question it when they said, push it, gas, you just put your damn gas mask on. You don't question, well, maybe not. So there was that. I bet we did that throughout for 24 hours, maybe 12 hours overnight into the next day, 4 or 5 times, all gas mask on and off. Let's see. And then after it was over, we cleared a lot of bunkers and collected a lot of their weapons and their supplies. And it was just a bunch of people surrendering, and their morale was bad and they didn't want to fight.
Yeah. Y'all swooped right in and took care of that pretty quick.
Yeah, it really was. They weren't the big bad fighting machine that everybody was worried about, Saddam's army, and oh boy, so we got over there and they didn't want any more. They'd had enough, and they weren't getting resupplied. And of course, they knew to surrender. And I remember going behind the airfield when we went to go look for anybody that may not have surrendered. I thought, man, there's got to be some hard chargers out here that are saying, I'm not going to surrender. And no, we didn't find not one person. And they were coming out of that airfield with their hands in the air and their white flags, a buttload of POWs.
Right. Now, when y'all were out there, were you able to see like the burn pit areas? Like, I had one guest on that was talking about that they had to throw human waste in and burn it. And then, I had another guest on that they were blowing up the bunkers. Did y'all ever experience any of that stuff?
Some of the bunkers were blown up and lots of materials took from the bunkers. And I believe there was a corporal there that actually tripped. Somebody had actually booby trapped one of them, but he didn't get hurt. He was able to hit it and jump out and get out of the way from a booby trap bunker. I remember that.
Wow.
What else? Yeah, but now you mean the human waste as in body parts?
Right.
No, I didn't witness that. No, I wasn't a part of that. No, but I do remember seeing. Everybody remembers the stirring the shitters.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that I remember that.
I think that's why I was glad to be in the Navy. We didn't have to worry about that. I know, like, once most of the guys got out, they started having some pretty, some pretty big issues like neurological or, digestive. Yeah. Have you experienced any of that stuff?
Digestive, yes. Neurological. Give me an example maybe of the neurological that's going on that maybe.
Like what I have. Let's take what I have. I have neuropathy where it's because of my digestive system. I lose all my B12. And the reason I lose my B12 is because it's just completely, it don't hold any more spores. They're all gone. So they were chemically removed, as the doctor would say.
Interesting. No, I haven't. I don't know that I've been tested for that. Once you have low energy or anything, you just never know what it could be. But that could be one thing.
Right.
It's good to know. Now I've had digestive issues, but just I don't know what it. I had a H. pylori stomach infection, gastritis, and GERD. But heck, I could have got that H. pylori anywhere. But yeah, I've had. Of course, I've got back problems. I went to jump school and jumped out of perfectly good aircrafts. Carried some heavy ass rucksacks, the stuff you see in recon. We did and tore up our bodies. So yeah, I feel the aches and pains of doing that for 4 years.
What possesses y'all to want to jump out of a perfectly good airplane?
I tell you, it's funny you mentioned. I was just talking about that today, and I remember at jump school, my first jump, I was hurt because the day before we'd been out drinking that weekend, and I jumped off a bridge and just. This is a different story, but anyway, I had to jump out of an aircraft that next day, and I was hurt because we had done some stupid stuff over the weekend. But you're right. I guess it's just to be a part. If you're going to be a part of something and you need to go to jump school, you just do it.
No way. Nope. Can't see myself ever wanting to do that in my life. I have friends going, hey, you want to go skydiving? No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
Yeah.
Do you use the VA?
Yes, I do. I do use the VA.
And how they treated you?
It's for the most part, it's been okay. It has its moments where things you're like, who the hell's in charge here? So there's those moments, and because certain things get slipped through the cracks or appointments, and so. But other than that, they've treated me face to face well. I can't. Yeah, they do okay. It has its moments of being unorganized, or takes a while to get this. Sometimes it takes a while to get an appointment with a specialist. But other than that, face to face, they've treated me well.
Oh yeah, most people who I talk to say, "Oh, well, if they can't get you in a certain amount of time, you go out and see an outside doctor." No, that's not true. I haven't. Nope. You got to get permission to go out to an outside doctor.
Yes, you do. Yep. You got to, what do they call that? Care in the community thing?
Yeah. And as a matter of
Yeah.
fact, I just got a phone call from them 2 days ago, not 2 days, last Friday, telling me that my sleep study test that they sent out for me to go do, I'm responsible for paying for it. I'm like, y'all sent me out to do this. And so it's
Mm.
you know, a lot of things they say on the news and a lot of things they do are two different things.
Yes, I've noticed that too. They've talked about, one I called an urgent care place recently, and supposedly we could go there if we need to and get a COVID test, use them for other things, and then they say, well, no, anyway, you get mixed messages sometimes. The care that you're supposed to go there, and the place says, no, we can't do that anymore. You got to get an authorization form, and then you call the VA, and they say, no, you don't need an authorization form. Just go. And you're like, wait a second, I'm going to get the bill here, so I better make sure this is done right.
Right, right. And matter of fact, I went to emergency room one night for having kidney stones, and I'll never forget. This was about a year ago. I went to Walgreens to get my prescription filled, and they were like, "No, no, the VA's not. You're not covered, even though they're contracted through them, just to give us enough until our medicine gets here."
Mm-hmm.
And another time, I went to urgent care, and when I went to Walgreens, I argued with them about it, and they gave me baby medicine. I was in baby uh, form. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I was like,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's like, I didn't ask for this insurance. It was given to me by, your great government.
Yeah, right.
But I do know that a lot of the guys that I have dealt with, and I've talked to a lot of guys on my ship, I thought I was having it bad. And that's one of the reasons I started doing this program is because I got so agitated with our care system. And you get like when they send you out to do your claims, and they don't read what the VA doctors have said. They make their own assessment in 2 minutes. And they
Oh,
don't
wow.
they don't even give you an exam.
Oh,
And I'm just like, what kind of crud is this? This makes
right, right.
this makes no sense whatsoever.
Yes. I hear some horror stories. I've heard people say, "Oh, the VA killed my dad." I heard a lady say that recently, and maybe they did. I don't know, but I do hear some horror stories. I haven't gone through one yet, and of course, I hope not to. But you do hear them from time to time.
Right. Now, when you got out, what year did you get out?
1994.
Did you have to go to the OVA downtown, Houston?
No, I didn't. I eventually, once I finally filed a claim, it took me a while. For someone said, "Hey, get in there and tell them what's going on with you and some of this. Hell, you're in combat and all that." So I did, and I went to the VA in Houston where it's at now.
Right. Oh, you're so lucky you never went to the old one. That place
Really?
was a nightmare. I mean, you want to talk about veterans think they weren't taken care of? Should have went to the old one. That one was craziest thing I've ever been to.
Yeah, I've heard somebody else talk about that. So wow, yeah.
When you were out there, did you still keep in touch with a lot of your buddies?
Oh, sure, you bet. Actually, we're flying to Honduras next month to go stay with an old recon buddy that's living and working out there.
Oh,
So we're gonna,
that's pretty
yeah,
awesome.
we're looking forward to it.
Have you ever been through, I don't know if you've listened to the program or not, but have you heard about any of the presumptives that for the Gulf War veterans?
No, go ahead. What's that?
Okay, so presumptive is what the VA and all of them claim to that us Gulf War veterans got while we were over there. It presumably happened while we were over there. And so like digestive system, that to me, I think that's the biggest one. And you know how you were talking about being tired?
Yes.
Well, the fatigue is one.
Okay.
And I know that hearing loss, of course,
Yes.
and then anything neurological. They've been keeping an eye on us since 1994, 650,000, because they know that a few of us are going to come back. Well, quite a few of us will come back and have some kind of mental disorder like Parkinson's, stuff like that, brain fog.
Yes.
And so, you know, some people may not have it now. I don't know if you've dealt with any of your buddies or not, but I've talked to a few guys that actually have Parkinson's now. And I mainly talk to their spouses, and their spouses tell me that it's a nightmare. And one guy just got done talking with last Thursday. Me and this guy sat down and we had a really good conversation. And he's an Iraqi freedom guy. 3 years after he got out, he had cancer. And
oh boy.
yeah, and he spent a lot of time over in Iraq in the late 1990s, all the way till I think 4 or 5 years after that. And after 2001, and he was telling me that, you know, he spent most of his time over there. And he said when he got out, he was like, he just knew something wasn't right. So he went down and went to his doctor, and the doctor was like, man, you got cancer. And so he's fighting that with the VA. He's been fighting that for 6 years. Now, I do not quite understand how that's considered under presumptive, but you got to keep fighting for it.
Right. Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me at all. And that's, you know, I want to bring awareness to everybody. I want everybody to understand, you know, most of the guys I talk to, their kids don't even have a clue what all they've been through, or their spouses. You know, they think it was a 1 month war. It was over with. Everything was fine. It wasn't quite like that.
Yeah.
You know, because you had, you know, Desert Shield, Desert Storm, you know, the Southern Watch, you know, then you got Iraqi Freedom. Our wars never stopped, you know. And then I happen to hear today that Afghanistan got taken back over.
Oh, what a mess. What a mess.
That is a mess.
Gosh. I heard that there were people hanging on to airplanes that were taken off.
Yes.
Just that visual, that is crazy. It just shows how crazy it is over there. But anyway, yeah, it's a mess.
I don't get it myself. I just want everybody out there that was or still is in to know there's other veterans out there that are fighting for them and helping them. And this is going to be our way of helping everybody.
Sure. Yep. That's so true. It is definitely true. And you just don't know, like you said, it's presumptive, but you need to get it checked out. I'm actually in the process. I'm at 60%, and I've been there for quite some time. That's without hardly just going in there with the basic stuff. That with the help of my wife, we're looking at some things and going back to the VA and seeing about getting that 60% raise. So it's good to know what you speak of, because I didn't, you know, I don't. Anyway, I haven't studied it much, but then when I think about it, I go, okay, that could be connected. I don't know how, but that's, you know, maybe there's something there.
Yeah, I tell everybody, go in and do your homework. You know, for a lot of the guys, I tell them this isn't about people being connected at 100%, or it's being connected so later on in life, when there is a real issue, you're covered. Your spouse is covered. Your kids are covered. You want to make sure that you and your family are well taken care of, just like it's supposed to be. And
sure.
I mean, most veterans, from what I heard, the statistics on it through a friend of mine that she works for the VA, is about 80% of the veterans give up on the first file. As soon as, I mean, you're going to get denied on the first go, no matter what.
Right. Yep.
Don't stop. You know, I don't know if y'all have somebody who is filing with y'all or if y'all filing it yourself, but I recommend getting a VSO officer, a Texas Veterans Service officer.
Yes.
You can't beat them, because they'll go through your record and look at everything, and they'll ask where you were located. I know there's 9 areas that if you were in any of them, you're considered under presumptive. I mean, did you know about the burn pit registry?
No, that's new.
Right, and the Gulf War registry. You need to be filed under them.
Gulf War Registry.
Yes, it's where the oil rigs, all the burn pits,
Mm-hmm.
everybody needs going. Like, um, I'm working with a lady that she lives in Colorado, and I've given her, information and trying to get her to, file for her husband who passed away. And, after 2 years after them being married, and she
Oh,
doesn't know
wow.
what to do. Her kids are older, her kids have problems. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what a lot of these people don't know. So let's get the word out there. Let's start telling every single person out there that, hey, this is what you need to do. This is how we can help you. I mean, if you know anybody out there, Rusty, I'm telling you, and they need help, give them my number.
Okay, that's good to know because I have another buddy that has sleep problems, and he was over there, and his sleep problems. He's had sleep problems for years since he's been back. So he, yeah, he might be calling you.
Yeah, man, I'd love to have a conversation with them. And he doesn't have to come on a program for me to talk to. I'll just talk to him
Okay,
and
all right.
everything. If he's got questions, and he needs some answers, I can help him get the answers or at least direct him in the way he needs to go.
Okay.
And that goes with you and your wife. If y'all need help trying to figure out, okay, what is all considered presumptive, I can send it over to you. I can email you and everything. So that way, at least you're signed up on these burn
Yes.
pit registries, especially with you even saying putting on the mask.
Yes. So yeah, I'll get you my email. Oh, look at there. We're living in Galveston on water now, and I'm looking at dolphins going through the water. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I definitely need to. The timing on this is perfect. Now we're using a. I say we're using. We've gotten with I guess an attorney or a company that is supposed to help with the getting my what's it called, the 60% raised, or getting what I have coming to me because of my disability. Is another way of saying it. And this company, I believe, takes a percentage of your check, and once you get your increase, they get a percentage of that increase, and then a monthly and a percentage each month. Have you heard of that? Do you know anything
Yeah.
about?
See, I don't like that. I mean, why?
No, that's good to know. I don't know. I'm not,
Yeah. I
anyway.
mean, to me, I think that's highway robbery for veterans that, it's their money. What I would do is before I signed up with that, I get a hold of somebody from DAV,
What's it called?
DAV, D A and a V as in Victor.
Yes.
Or most often, I would get a hold of a VSO officer, Texas Veteran Service Officer. They got them everywhere. I know Galveston has one.
Now, when you say that, is that Victor Sierra Oscar VSO?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You go in there. Heck, you can look at it up on your phone,
Uh
and
huh.
look for Veterans Commission Officer. Look up that. But I wouldn't go through an attorney unless it's necessary.
I don't think it's necessary. It's just I met somebody who knew somebody, and I said, okay, I'll use this guy. But I don't know that I don't know that we're definitely committed or married to this company,
Yeah,
whatever it is. And
if you haven't
I, don't-
signed, have you signed any paperwork with them?
I don't think we've signed any paperwork. No, I'm looking at my wife shaking her head.
Yeah.
No.
There's too many. You don't use them people until that's your last resort
Ah, okay,
and everything.
okay.
And so make sure you get a hold of a VSO officer. As a matter of fact, the one thing that you could do is call the VA and ask
Hmm.
them, where's your nearest VSO officer, your veterans officer, and they'll give you a phone number.
Okay, okay.
The VA
Cool.
is great about that.
That's good.
You know,
They should be.
yeah, why should anybody take the commission that you earned,
No,
especially
I agree.
jumping out of a perfectly good airplane?
Yeah, true. So yeah, I'm glad we talked. It's just that I'm like you, just thinking this person who or company that's going to take quite a bit of the disability payments doesn't make sense unless it's absolutely necessary. So
Unless
that's
it's absolutely necessary. I mean,
okay.
and to me, I mean, there's guys out there missing limbs and all this that, I mean, they're fighting for this, and then they hire this company, and the company takes money from them. I don't get that. To me, the VA needs to get off of their little butts and do what's right for the veterans. Start taking care of them.
Yep, I agree.
And I'm telling you, you got my number. Text me if you want, and we'll get with it.
Where are you guys located?
I'm up here in Montgomery County.
Okay, not too far. I'm down in Galveston. Know where that's at.
Right.
Cool.
Right. Well,
how often do you do these podcasts?
I do the podcast. I do them once a week.
Okay. How do I get to them? How do we get to them and listen to them and all that?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. You can get them on Apple. Soon, I'm hoping to be on iHeartRadio, Google, Spotify, Anchor. You can go on there and type in Gulf War Side Effects.
Gulf War Side Effects.
We have a Facebook page, Gulf War Side Effects.
It's on, what else is it on? Facebook, and what else? Gulf War Side Effects?
It's on, we're on YouTube.
Okay.
And I also have an email for anybody out there who wants to email me. It's Kevin Simon at GulfWarSideEffects.com.
Kevin Simon at GulfWarSideEffects.com?
Yes.
How do you spell the Simon? S-I-M-M-O-N?
S-I-M-O-N.
Okay, great. I got it. And we're going to definitely be in touch, because I think we need to take a new, fresh look at this and use a VSO officer as you recommended.
I totally agree, 100%.
Cool. I'm glad we hooked up.
Yes, sir. So am I.
Well, if you guys are ever down in Galveston, we're right on the water, and we have a pier. And like, not everybody that's listening to this, just you. You have my number.
All right, all my listeners, I just want y'all to know y'all are not welcome, but I am.
Well, one at a time.
One at a time. That's right.
Yeah, we do like to fish, and you're always welcome.
Well, thank you very much. And hopefully I'll be getting down to Galveston before too long.
Okay. And I appreciate you taking the time to do this and the information.
Hey, you're so welcome. Stay in contact with me. Let me know how it goes.
Okay, I'll do it. You have a good day.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So on this podcast, I wanted y'all to hear kind of what Rusty was looking for. He has some issues going on that he needs more to get looked at. So instead of running out to an attorney, check with your VA. Your VA has people for this inside the clinics. Ours is a Texas Veterans Officer. And so also DAV. You don't want to give your money out to people out there that hasn't earned it. You earned it. This is your money. But if you have any questions, you can contact me at Kevin Simon at GulfWarSideEffects.com.